So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to UoN, a podcast where my friends and I discuss topics related to our community. Our today episode is the first of the Young Women in Leadership series, and our contributors are Achiewa Alier, Alakir Deng, Adina Agov, and a special guest from Nairobi, Monica Malith. For those who don't know Monica, her story is nothing short of spectacular. Monica was recently elected the president of the University of Nairobi Student Association, UNSA, my people. She's the first ever international student to ever ascend to that position at UoN. And to my knowledge, personally, I think she's the first ever South Sudanese woman to lead such a role at the university level. As a student leader, she joined a distinguished company of leaders who held this position before, including senior counsel James Orengo, you all know, and a lawmaker, Babu Owino. We're honored to have Monica join us to discuss her journey and share with young girls that might follow in this role. So Monica, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you so much, and I'm honored to be here. It's a pleasure. I'm looking forward to more discussions here.
Excellent, excellent. So, Monica, I have a few questions that you can actually speak to, and one question is what you expect. I don't know how to begin, but based on your recent election to this position, what actually made you run for that position, that prestigious position, considering the fact that the odds were not even in your favor? It's an international school, you are abroad, not in your own country. How did you even think about that?
Oh, thank you so much. And people know me there as Ambassador Malith, or they call me Melanin. And I think my leadership has been very consistent. And I was from primary school, the head girl from class 6, class 7, and class 8. And then the same way in high school, from Form 2, I became the deputy head girl. And then in Form 3, became the head girl through Form 4. So one thing I can say is that my leadership has been very consistent. But I won't say that contributes to me being the president or thinking of vying, because when I left high school, I knew that university was only meant for Kenyans to be leaders, and it's very hectic, needs a lot of resources. So I never thought I'll vie. And again, I'm very radical in a way, very straightforward. So I said, if I go venture into politics, I might end up not graduating. So I said, when I go to the university, I'm not going to do leadership. But I found myself being elected as the one representing international students. I served for the last 1 year in my second year. And then one thing I can say that made me buy is when you know the law. Actually, I'm a third-year law student. So when I read the law, the constitution of the student association, it doesn't exempt anyone regardless of where you come from. So I said, now because you have equal chances and you can always try. I remember the first time I told the IEC chairperson is my professor in law. He met me and he said, Monica, you're always in my class, making a lot of contributions, dressed like a law student, and now you're in politics. I'm happy to see you. And I told him, actually, I'm going to do this for my country next year, and I'm going to vie to be the president of the university. Okay, I said it on a light note. I didn't really mean to vie, or I don't know. I didn't take it so seriously. So I said, I'm going to vie. So the year went by, and it was like I'm forgetting about it. And then it was still reflecting in my mind. So then that's what I decided to buy. In December last year, I started approaching people, calling them, telling them I'm going to buy. I got a lot of discouragement from people telling me, you think you're the first South Sudanese to be in that university? Or do you think you're the most cleverest? Do you think all that? You cannot make it. It is politically there is political affiliation with the leadership, and you're not going to get it. So, but there is one thing about myself, and maybe I too much believe in myself. And whenever I say I'm going to get it, I'm going to do this, I always do it. Yeah. So then I just said, if you think you're smart, I might be smart. I just assume that I might be smarter than you are. If you think you're clever, I might be clever than you are. You know, I'm much more a bit clever than you are. And if you think you can, I might be in a much more position than you are. And it's all about there. I think there was one night that I could not sleep thinking of, wow, like where am I going to get the resources? Where am I going to get the elections? How am I going to get out to talk about myself? And I think I had a whole night, sleepless night without like just sitting down. And then I went to YouTube, watched some videos, and I said it's all about dare. Sarah Jack said everything is all about dare. Dare to do anything, dare to achieve, dare to dream bigger. And anyway, I said if I lose, I'll be the first international student ever to attend. So that was another encouragement I gave myself, and that way it will have maybe made let me learn of the things that if you do, you're going to win elections. But anyway, I was confident all along, and here I am. It's all about self-belief and consistency in leadership. Yeah.
If I lose, then I'll be the first international student to have ever attempted. What a quote. I wish I had that courage.
Yeah, but you see, I have never lost elections. And so I said, there's always a first time thing. So if I lose, it's going to be the first time to lose the elections. Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. That is really very inspirational. And of course, you went to YouTube to look up things that is empowering yourself. I'm real thrilled. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I think I am blown away. And the takeaway is the confidence, the confidence. What I would want to ask as a lady, it is always challenging to join everybody on the live streams of, let's say, politics or any other powerful positions. How do you tend to juggle that as a lady? You have talked about the challenge of not graduating, but you are here still doing your school. But how do you manage your femininity with this powerful position? I know confidence is part of it that you have mentioned.
To me, I don't think the feminism, the feminist part of me plays anything. Like I have, like even when I was going out there, people are like, "How did you make it? And you're a lady." And like maybe your focus should be, "How did you make it? And you're a foreigner." That question I will answer because I think I've been empowered enough not to just think of my gender. So like the gender issues and everything, I don't think anyone can ever do me anything because I'm a lady. Because I just told gentlemen, I think it's the high time now I give you my skirts. I remember telling my opponents, can you use your trousers and can you, maybe I want to be vulgar a little bit. I just say like, can you use your two balls to win elections, Because, okay, it wasn't necessary, but I had to say that because I told them, use your two balls to win elections, actually, because it seems there's nothing beyond who we are. And if you can't think of it, I can give you my skirt, actually, because don't see me as a female, see me as equally a student in the university, a third-year law student, and I think I'm in any way capable of achieving. You see, so the feminine part of me doesn't play. Actually, it doesn't play with me, and I've never think of it, and I've never thought of it, and it doesn't come out. I don't know why, but I'm trying to make it come out. But when I get out myself there, I don't see myself like disadvantaged because I'm a woman. I don't even think of it. That's what I can say.
Wow. I'm just blown away by the confidence. Thank you.
Sounds good.
No, your hand is up. I am blown away too, Lisa Deet. I think, and that's what we say in the previous episode when we talk about women empowerment. Why women cry for like 25% in position of power, like in the country, or 30%, when it's 50-50. If we have all the skills and competencies, why should we beg, from a gender perspective? So it's really amazing. And to hearing from a young girl like you, I think girls, you must be taking notes. Like, yeah, I'll continue.
I'm actually taking notes. Monica Malith, I'm moved by your journey, and that leads me to sort of a question. So, as most of us are inspired, and there are young girls outside there that will want to be Monica Malith. And as you narrate your story, it wasn't like easy journey, and you had critics all over the place and discouragement left center. So what can you tell those young girls? Is it something worth it, and where can they start from?
What I can tell young girls out there is to start knowing yourself. Because if I didn't know my own self and I didn't know my capabilities, I would have succumbed to people's opinion, Because if they tell you you will not make it, you will not be this, and you actually don't know yourself better and you don't know who you are and what you're capable of doing, you will actually say, yeah, these people are telling me what they're telling me is right. So what I will tell them is, can you know yourself? And like you're talking about the 25% who are looking for, it's a high time. Like, let me tell you, even if we were to achieve 25%, yet we don't know, we don't have ladies who are qualified, who will not be given. So try to place yourself somewhere before we come now and fight for 25%. Because for me now, I don't think I'll have to be in a position because they have to achieve the gender balance of 25%. They'll put me there because I'm qualified. And that's how I will tell young girls out there, place yourself somewhere. Don't wait for things to come. Just know that you have to have something outstanding about you and something that people can buy and something that you can give out. Don't just fight for position. And that's why I tell ladies, don't say our rights have been denied. It's our own time to take up responsibilities, take up opportunities, and give ourselves the responsibility of achieving them. There's nothing that comes easily. So know yourself. Don't be so much carried away by the negativities. They call me names, and now they are celebrating me at one point, but before we used to say she is, but I know who I am, and they never affected me. So apart from believing in yourself, also know that people will talk negative about you, but it shouldn't be your concern. If you trust yourself, it's all good. And I always say, when a lady walks into a hotel with a man, even if they had nothing, 99% will be that they did something. That's the same way with a lady who has gone to the university. You can go to the university. If you don't trust yourself, they will be like, yeah, that lady who walked into that hotel room, even if it was just a quiet moment of sitting down, especially like even restaurants, people don't know that there are restaurants in hotels. They'll only think that you went to a room. So that's what I came to convince myself with that. It is you trust yourself, you know who you are, you know what you're doing. Whatever people say, let them say. If it's that, let them. Don't worry. So that's what I can tell the young girls out there, my age, and always reach out, always try to be unique, be outstanding, and everything else will flow and go your way. And don't use the gender aspect of it now because we are being equally empowered. And it shouldn't be our fight anymore. It shouldn't be our fight.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think everything takes one to believe in themselves. I think I am one of the people that can talk today about how I struggled to get where I am, because not everyone always understand me. I do my thing differently, but at the end of the day, people see the outcome. So that's really great. This leads me to a follow-up question. So, now you are up there. We are looking up to you, and as someone that has achieved a certain level of position in the community, are you thinking or are you doing something to uplift these other young girls that don't have voice and really love to have voice like you? Is there something that you are planning in the future, or is there something that you are doing right now? Sorry to ask that question. I have been following you like for less than 2 months, so I haven't known much about you. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. And this is one thing I've been doing ever since. From my childhood, I've always been looking forward to having a crowd of people going to where I am. And even in my own class, when I'm being taught, I understand something and I'll always go around the people's desk teaching them of what they don't understand. And actually, that's what I've carried to the university. Even in high school, I have been like, I was in understand. We came up with an association of South Sudanese that we used to just go and meet, pay 200, take lunch and come back. And I was like, now most of us are being sent home and we don't have, what do we do for them? So I came up and I said, whenever you go, you come to school, the first time you come, pay 200 Kenyan shillings. We were about 200 students, about 200 to 300. So say if you pay 200, we can manage to pay someone's fee every time. Maybe 5 people. And I also went to the directors who Anesta School, Mr. Gatim, and I told him most of us are being affected by the crisis in South Sudan and their parents will not be in a position to pay them. So can you actually reduce their fees for some of them who are very bright and can't afford? I remember Mr. Gatim telling me, since you became the head girl, there has been a lot of reforms and I can offer you a scholarship. And I told him, instead of being selfish, I will give you 3,000 days. You reduce their fees. You have their fees. Whatever you will have been paying for me, you reduce their school fees. And he did that. And actually, one of the ladies could not manage again to pay even their half. And it was fully sponsored by him. And actually, still now, if I have a student, South Sudanese, very bright and who gets good KCP marks, I always call Mr. Gatimo and I tell him this student doesn't have the finances. So can you? And he actually gave me five, like I take 5 students to that school every year. Those who are bright and those who promises to keep studying. Because again, one thing I realized, you go there, you're sponsored and you don't work hard. So what happens? The only thing that now Mr. Gatimo needs is you to perform and promote the name of the school. But if you don't go there, so sometimes I'm a bit hesitant because our girls don't go and study. Some of them don't see that as an advantage. So again, one thing I've been doing when I was in first year, I saw some of the influential ladies on Facebook and I contacted them myself, called them, told them like, if we use our influences, just dress up and put on my seat as a law student and stand before students in primary school or in high school. They will say, I want to be like Monica. And the gap between me and her is not that big. So we can use peer-to-peer counseling and they see that it's something to achieve instead of looking up people like Ofra. They can look up to someone like Monica who they see, this is something I can achieve, this is something workable. Monica did this and I can easily follow up. And she's not too far away from me. So what happens, I said, if you join our hands and we'll be going back to high schools, going back to primary schools and talk to them of our journey, just even start with how well you dress with your suits and your laptop before you, they think you are so big and they want to be in that position until they reach there and they realize, it's nothing yet. I have to achieve more. So I came up with a mentorship program whereby every year you go back to South Sudan. I ask friends for finances to help me maybe facilitate my movement and sitting down with them and serve drinks. And that's what I've been doing since my first year. Actually, in my high school, I'm now doing it in my university. I go back to churches. I realize that most of them don't know scholarship, people don't give you scholarships nowadays because you're academically qualified. They also want to know, what do you do in your community? Are you a person that can serve? If you're sponsored today, what will you give back to the society? So I realized most of us miss on scholarship because they have been isolating themselves. So I go back to churches, talk to them, and I tell them, for you to get a scholarship is beyond grades. Can you involve yourself in church activities? Can you even attend meetings, community meetings? Can you volunteer? Can you meet and do something so that you have a story much more than you just qualifying with your academics? So those are the few things I do. And I talk to the refugee girls here in my laws. I tell them that there is a life beyond just being in class, and being a law student need much more than just the academic qualifications. You need to meet, you need to talk to different people, see the different perspectives of life, and you know that they say your network is your network, something like that. So thank you.
Oh, nice. I'm so impressed with everything. I shared another thing with you in common. I was in Anesta.
All
That's,
right.
yeah, that's the high school that I went to, but I was expelled after 1 year. So that's a long story.
Well,
I'm going to leave the floor to the ladies. Thank you. Should anything come into my mind, I'll pop in again.
okay.
Yeah, I think I'm next. Monica, nice to meet you. It's really great to hear your story and all the hard work you're doing to uplift the community, especially the South Sudanese that you think deserve a second chance in school. I want to bring it back to university and your new role as a leader. Earlier, you established your identity as an international student. That gave you that first person to run as an international student to be a leader at UoN. What are some things you're working to change the international student experience? Is there something that needs to be changed? I'm curious to know.
Oh, thank you so much. Actually, before I came into being the president, I had already wrote some recommendations for what can be done to improve the life of the University of Nairobi and the international students' experiences. Because while I was serving as the international student rep, I realized that there were so many things. University of Nairobi has a lot of the majority of international students, but their experiences and the satisfaction is comes second after Strathmore. So I sat down with the administration and I told them, like, you're not doing really well. And as the world-class university, you should provide world-class services to international students. So there was a recommendations I wrote, and among the recommendations was that we have to have an office that is particularly dealing with our issues, be it the issues coming with passports and student pass. Can this university provide those directly instead of them going to Nyayo House to follow up themselves? Can we have an office whereby we'll always get to first be directed now to actually the counselors that the university provides, but can we get like direct, especially with the refugees? I told them you also have to understand that in as much as we're international students, some of us are refugees, some of us are coming from Africa, some of us are coming from like other places, like maybe the overseas, and they need some a bit experiences and they need more culture. So can we always have cultural weeks and maybe something that can make our experiences more lively? And for the refugees, can we get people we can hold parents and people who can talk to us? Because my mother doesn't talk to me about academics. So can we get some people who will be coaching us and who will be talking to us beyond our classes? Can we get parents in school? So that's what I've been doing, and the office has been established and things are being done. I'm preparing now for the Students Week, International Students Week. Yeah.
Awesome. That's amazing. Rhoda, you can take it away.
Oh, really, really, yeah, I'm blown away. I really like that idea of having like a parent figure at school. I think we actually had it in Turkana Girls, and it was really helpful. They introduced it in my last year of high school, and since we started like for like grade 9, we left our parent. Like your mother is not like formal educated. They are refugees. They don't have finances to visit you in school. And if during Parents' Day, other kids, like Kenyan students, their parents come. But others, like those one from disadvantaged background, like Turkana, some parents are also not formal educated. They don't have that, parents supporting them at home or even visiting during big days to come and they were performing really well, but you don't have that person to cheer you up. And then school introduced that. So we had one teacher who was our father, and others had mothers, and it made the difference, right? That person would just buy you some biscuit and soda and sit down and discuss things. It was my favorite family day session. So thank you for introducing it at the University of Nairobi. And you're really inspiring a lot of people. And I remember you were working on this project of girls empowerment, talking about teenage pregnancies and girls dropping out of school and creating awareness. I remember a journey you went to South Sudan and also like Juba and Nimale, doing awareness with your friends. How is that project going on? How are you juggling now between creating opportunities on campus for international students and also being connected with your community at grassroots level? How are you managing both?
This year, I don't think I'll have so much to do in South Sudan like last year. So actually, now I'm having my judicial attachment. I have to be in office. I have people to meet. I have interviews to attend. So I don't think this year I'll make it something like last year. I went to South Sudan and went to about 5 high schools and 2 primary schools. And I attended a debate competition whereby I actually talked of the topics they were giving pupils to discuss was beyond them, and so as thought of can we teach them of the relevant discussions that don't need pupils to go Google and get some very relevant kind of information that they can't even understand, but they will come and speak about. But now I'm the president, and I don't think I'll get the time again to go back for about 2 weeks like I usually do. But I'm now going back to the camps, and I did a project with the UNHCR whereby I'll be having a 2 weeks mentorship and on menstrual hygiene, and how then after your high school and you don't have university fee, can you have other entrepreneurial ideas? So this is what I'll be doing here in Nairobi, because on weekends I'll be doing it as on weekdays I'll be going to the courts for judicial attachment and clinics. And yeah, I was planning to go back to Kakuma because most of them, after finishing high school, they want to know, okay, these things again of community shows and dances, and these girls are being called and ABCD. And alongside that, what are you doing as a person? So I'm not telling them to stay away, but what are they doing alongside being actively involved in community activities and such dances? So, and that's what I'm planning this year. And if I get a chance, I want to go back maybe to University of Juba University, so that I talk and see if there's a way we can partner, even come their students, even their leaders come for exchange programs in the University of Nairobi, and maybe go and explore such opportunities. And again, maybe take the students who accepted to be in my team as a former. Like it was a hard struggle to get people being my team members, maybe being my chairperson, me being my vice chairperson, being my secretary general. So can I take them to South Sudan and they see where I come from and they see the universities there, and I give them I give the students there an opportunity to talk to a doctor from the University of Nairobi, talk to a lawyer from the University of Nairobi, talk to an engineer, talk to like maybe a person of business management science. So those are the few things I'm planning, and I was just trying to liaise with the Embassy of South Sudan, but there's nothing tangible that is coming out yet. But I'm just hoping that before I end the term, I'll be in a position to take the 7 of us to South Sudan to just explore for a 1 week kind of visit, and that's the only appreciation that I think I can help them get the experience of my country, and giving my country people or the students there an opportunity to interact and see a different view of how education is, and what can you do as a student to be a different person and change your life. And they know that apart from just being a medical student, you can also venture into leadership, and how can you juggle the two. And yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. I am just bursting in happiness. Monica Malith, you are the Malith, actually. Yeah, like a lot of students don't really know that being a student is also like you are in a position of advantage to effect change at a high scale. And considering South Sudan and Kenya, they are very closely tied together. That country has actually, Kenya developed a lot of South Sudanese, professional person. All of us here were, formally educated in Kenya. We attended our primary and high school there. And now that South Sudan has joined East Africa community, there are a lot of opportunities for collaboration, to be tied. And it started at school. It's only a school where friendship and connection are built, because those who are standing with you right now, who are in leadership position with you right now, those are the future leaders of Kenya, and those will be the one to collaborate with future leaders of South Sudan. And so having that relationship already established from primary school, high school to university level, it make really a collaboration very easy politically, in business, in everything. And then people like you, making that happen. Oh, girl, it's, I don't know. I don't like your, I like it. I did take it away. Let me rest. It's getting hot.
I will, sorry, girls. I will talk again. We can all agree that Monica has that it leadership quality today, and I just want to stretch it again beyond university. Monica, have you thought about leadership moving forward? I know university time is limited. At some point, you'll have to graduate, actually pursue your career. But how do you envision seeing this leadership quality in your next phase as you move out of university leadership?